Today, we're going to break down the critical and often really subtle early signs of breast cancer. These are the signals our bodies send us, signals that are way too easy to miss, but honestly, noticing them can be a matter of life and death. So let me ask you this directly. Are you overlooking these life-saving clues? It's a serious question because when it comes to breast cancer, the knowledge we're about to cover, well, it can change everything. To really understand the stakes, let's start with just one powerful number. 670,000. That's how many people lost their lives to breast cancer in 2022 alone. This isn't some distant issue. It's a global reality right now.
Yeah, that staggering number really shows us that breast cancer isn't just a personal health battle. It's a global killer. So let's take a quick look at its worldwide impact.
To put this into perspective, think about this. In 2022, breast cancer accounted for almost a quarter of all cancer diagnoses in women around the world. That's huge. It makes it the most common cancer for women in pretty much every single country on Earth.
Okay, so with that context in mind, let's get to the real heart of this explainer, listening to your body. We're about to walk through these specific, subtle signs that absolutely demand your attention.
All right, the first and most well-known sign is a new lump or maybe an area of thickening, either in the breast itself or in your armpit. This is by far the most common way breast cancer first makes itself known. But, and this is super important, not all lumps are the same. In fact, about 8 out of 10 breast lumps actually turn out to be benign, not cancerous. A potentially cancerous lump often feels firm or hard. It might have an irregular shape, and it tends to stick around. On the other hand, benign changes, like cysts, are often smoother, maybe a little tender, and they can even come and go with your cycle. But here's the crucial takeaway, and the CDC really emphasizes this. You have to get any abnormal lump checked by a doctor, even if it's completely painless. The belief that cancer has to hurt is a really dangerous myth. Now, beyond lumps, your nipples can also give you some critical clues. You want to be on the lookout for a nipple that suddenly turns inward, or flattens, or develops a sort of eczema-like rash. Also, pay close attention to any discharge that isn't breast milk, especially if it's bloody or clear and it's only coming from one side. The skin on the breast can also signal a problem. Things like dimpling, or a texture that literally looks like the peel of an orange. That can happen when a tumor is pulling on the skin's ligaments. Any unexplained redness, swelling, or warmth that spreads quickly is also a major red flag that needs to be checked out right away. And finally, let's cover a few other key signs. Watch for any sudden change in the overall size or shape of one breast, any swelling in the lymph nodes under your arm or near your collarbone, or even new persistent pain that's just in one spot. You know, while pain is a less common symptom, it should never, ever be ignored if it doesn't go away. Okay, we've covered what to look for. Now, let's talk about why acting on these things immediately is so incredibly critical. This is what we call the survival gap, and it's the life or death difference that early detection makes. Just look at this data. It's staggering. If breast cancer is found when it's still localized, meaning it's contained entirely within the breast, the 5-year survival rate is over 99%. It's almost always curable. But if that same cancer spreads to distant parts of the body, the survival rate plummets to just 32%. That is the survival gap we're talking about. And this isn't just an opinion. The World Health Organization confirms what that data shows in no uncertain terms. Mortality is reduced when breast cancer cases are detected and treated early. It is a proven fact. So what's the reason for that huge drop in survival? Well, it comes down to one word: metastasis. This is the process where cancer cells break off from the original tumor and travel to other organs. Once that happens, the disease becomes incredibly difficult to treat. And that explains that devastating 32% survival rate we just saw. I know, hearing all of this can feel pretty overwhelming, but this is actually where your power lies. So let's shift from just awareness to real action. Here is your plan for turning this knowledge into empowerment. It really comes down to a simple 3-step defense. First, know you're normal. This just means becoming so familiar with your body that any change, no matter how small, stands out to you immediately. Second, report. This one's non-negotiable. Don't wait, don't try to rationalize it away, report any of the signs we've talked about to a doctor. And third, screen. This is your proactive defense. Follow the recommended guidelines for checkups and mammograms.
And that third step is just so important. Why? Because screening tools like mammograms are literally designed to find cancers before you can even feel or see them. This is the very definition of early detection, and it's what gives you the absolute best odds of a successful outcome. At the end of the day, the American Cancer Society sums it up perfectly. The entire path to a better outcome starts with two simple things: knowing the signs and reporting them without delay. That's the key. And so we end where we began. We know that early detection can save your life. We've seen the signs. We understand the stakes. The only question left is, are you ready to listen to your body?